Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Marcos, and today I will be giving you the wokest moments in The Last of Us HBO Max show, and why I consider it to be a woke disaster. Let's begin with the very first obvious red flag in episode 1, race swapping. Now don't get me wrong, I think the black girl who plays Sam as Joel's daughter did a fantastic job overall, and I was satisfied with her performance. But since most people say race swapping don't matter, then I will throw the question back to you. If race swapping didn't matter, why do all these shows do it anyways? Also, I am not going to be a hypocrite as a Hispanic person myself. Joel is also a race swap, which any type of race swapping is unacceptable. Even though Pedro Pascal is an amazing actor in certain roles, he didn't do justice to Joel's character whatsoever, which we will get into that a bit later in this video. Notice how race swapping has only been done to establish white characters in this show. God forbid you do this to an established black character, otherwise you will be called a racist. Take the Fireflies for example. Imagine they would have race swapped Marlene for a white female. How would that make the woke mob feel? But when it's done to a white character, it's okay because they're white, right? They don't matter. Wrong. This is racist and should not happen. White people deserve as much respect as any other ethnicity, and to do the contrary is to be racist and bigoted. We get race swapped to the main character. Of course, Joel must not be a white straight male in 2023, the most hated group of people in America as of now. Of course, Sam cannot be even white or Hispanic. Let's just push for diversity here and make her completely black. Also, notice how the show makes almost all evil characters white, especially white males. I mean, it's really obvious. Besides that, the first episode and even the second one are really solid. The acting is pretty good and keeps you at your toes most of the times. Now that we have already covered race swapping and how it's wrong, let's go with my second biggest problem with the show. It's Ellie. This actor was definitely the wrong choice for Ellie. For one, she's hard to look at. I am sorry, I would just say it. Also, she is super annoying and has this way of always talking garbage about everything and also talking over Joel without letting him express himself completely. She's a disaster. We all knew she had to be gay in the show, as she's also gay in the game. And that's fine, but make her interesting at least. In the game, Ellie is a complete badass, but she's also sweet and funny. But oh well, let's just have her be in the show completely unlikable. Let's jump onto episode 3, the worst episode in my opinion. Bill and Frank. That's all I can say. This is not even The Last of Us anymore. This is a gay romance episode. You get to see two middle-aged men getting it on, one sucking the other one off, tons of kissing. You get the point. Now, in the game, we know Bill is gay, but we don't get a whole chapter in the game showing us a big flashback just pushing down our throats Bill and Frank being ultra gay, creating a boutique, and living like kings. Or should I say queens? I don't know, man. This world is really fucked up. You really can get canceled for misgendering people's feelings, because facts don't really matter anymore. You can be an airplane if you want by this point. Anyways, we got a whole gay hour with Bill and Frank, which is really pointless because at the end Joel finds them both dead. So what's the point of making this whole episode about them and then killing them off? Contrary to the game, where we find out how Bill is gay in a more interesting and subtle way. Also creating a funny moment with Ellie and Joel when Ellie finds a gay magazine and starts asking Joel questions about what she's looking at. Again, a masterpiece, done very well in the game. And then we simply move on to the next chapter. But nope, not in this show. You are forced to watch this gay romance story for the message. And if you don't like it, you're a homophobe. You get the point, right? This is going on forever. Then we got Tommy, who now has a black wife. Yes, another race swap. Oh, and she's the leader of the entire camp. Yes, woman power. I'm just glad it isn't a transgender pretending to be a girl. being the ruler of the camp. Alice is a real biological girl who is in charge. Anyways, the organization that Maria, the black female who is in charge, rules over is a communistic community. Yep, you heard that right. Now let me tell you why this is a big problem. Anytime communism is represented in a different way from how it really boils my blood. Seriously, I come running away from communism. I'll briefly tell you what communism is all about. It's all about equality. Yes, you heard me. Everyone is equally poor in communism. Also, starvation is a big part of communism. Another thing is, your rights will be taken away. So good luck being gay in a communistic country or being religious. You woke people really don't know what you have in America. You take these things for granted. If you speak against the president of a communistic country, you get your head chopped off and then they will feed it to the pigs. So yeah, by all means, keep glorifying communism. By doing so, you're sending the government a clear message of how you love to be controlled, because that's the root of communism. All businesses will belong to the government. Therefore, you will be poor and they will be fat and rich. I know some of you will be like, nah, that's not communism. Okay, then leave. Leave America. Go live in Venezuela. Go live in Cuba. Not as a tourist, as a real citizen. Go and support your communism. Watch how fast you return to America. Anyways, horrible depiction of communism in The Last of Us show. You know how I know? Because the town seems to be thriving, completely the opposite of communism, where everything will be decaying or become corrupted. Anyways, not much about Tommy. He's not really an interesting character in this show as he was in the game. He's just simply boring. Let's talk about Joel. Joel in the show is the weakest thing I've ever seen to a man. Now hear me out for a minute. I love Pedro Pascal and I think he's a great actor, but Joel in the game is fearless and tough. And given the situation with the whole mushroom outbreak, only people like Joel depicted in the game would really survive a pandemic like this one. Compare that to the Joel in the show, who has panic attacks, who leave him exposed from time to time and will ultimately get him killed if it was real life. Another thing about Joel in the show is how he's reckless. Like in the last episode where he was recklessly walking and casually talking to Ellie and then gets hit from behind. Now I know they are the Fireflies. The ones who hit him are the Fireflies who aren't evil in the show. But imagine if they weren't the Fireflies. Joel and Ellie would have been done for. Joel in the show can barely take one guy at a time. Remember when he was fighting with this random guy and then gets stabbed by a stake and he was gone? I know this is a scene from the game where Ellie goes out to look for medicine for Joel, but still, it's weak and pathetic. And don't forget the time he cries out to Tommy about why he's too old and can't do anything anymore. Again, nothing like Joel from the game. This is a horrible depiction of Joel. If we all know about something, is how much Wookiees hate Christianity. So what do they do in the show? Of course, they make a Christian father a pedophile, and he also eats humans. Imagine making a Muslim man the pedophile in the show. Of course, they can't do that, because only Christians can get mocked and be ridiculed. Now, to give them credit, the actor is amazing and makes this episode one of the best, if not the best episode for the whole show. I think this was Ellie's best time in the show. Notice how I say Ellie, because of course, we can't have a male saving a female in this day and age. So Ellie gets to do everything in this episode. Joel gets there in the end of the episode. So woman power rules overall. In conclusion, there's plenty of other woke moments in the show, like Ellie and the black girlfriend, which they are teens by this point and are already drinking alcohol and kissing and doing all of this other stuff, which will be considered pedophilic. But since the woke is in power here and this show belongs to them, it's okay. It gets a free pass on every single social controversy. But let's give it up to the show. They actually got something right. Ellie was born from a female in the last episode, We see a real biological woman giving birth, the only way God intended it to be. So let's give them props for that. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section if you agree or disagree. And if you like this video, please subscribe for more. Thank you, and till the next one.